Hi, crafters, and welcome. Oh, sorry. Early morning froggy throat. My name is Roxy, and this is your technique of the week. So, last week we showed you about the new hot foil system. Today we're going to talk about reversing the hot foil or using those negatives that you have after you've foiled. Now, full disclaimer, Stampin' Up! Did announce during their hot foil class that there will be a plate that is released that will help with this process. But you know me, I can't wait, so I gotta figure things out. I've been watching a lot of videos, a lot of different ways other demonstrators have been doing this, and I think this is the best way for me. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plug in our hot foil plate, so you'll see that the power is on and the red light is flashing. That means it's getting ready to foil. Now, you can put your foil on or your foil die on at this time if you like, especially these, but I don't think it bothers it either way. So whether you do it like here and put your foil on or you wait, it doesn't really matter. So the two foil dies, I always shorten it, I'll be using today are either Garden Silhouette or the Swiss Dots. Now the reason I'm using these, and you can use, let's see, let me grab out my other foils. You can also use, there's another full one. Let me think which one it is. I think it's this one. I think it's Botanical. No, it's not. All right, I have a foil. It's another, it's like a full plate because that works better. I might have it out and about using it. I will find it later. But the full die plates work a little bit better for the reverse technique, as I'll show you. Now I'm going to foil regularly, and then we're going to do the reverse, just so you can see how that works. So this takes, now I have been doing a little foiling before I started recording, so I'm sorry my camera's moving so much. There's a lot it's trying to focus on. So it shouldn't take the full 6 minutes to heat up because I have been doing it somewhat this morning. So we'll see about how long it takes. Like I said, I don't think it's going to take the full 6 minutes. If you wanted to, at this point, oh, there it beeped. So now you see the timer is beeping. The red is solid and the timer is beeping. So now I'm going to put down my foil. I'm sorry, my foil die. I'm going to pick out, I think I'm going to do, let's do silver. Because I don't think I got a good one example for silver. Yeah, we'll do silver. And I've just taken mine and I've just cut them into sheets. So make sure you only have one sheet. I did have that problem too, where I tried foiling and I had 2 sheets. And so it ended up foiling on the back of the other sheet. So that was ruined. So shiny side goes down. Now I have cut out, this is the two-tone cardstock. You can see it has that white core. We're going to do it on the darker side. Now since, I'm going to push this timer. So I have down, right now I have down the die, the foil, and the cardstock. And I'm going to push this. Now, you can put this on right now if you want to. I usually don't, because then I get a lot more overfoiling. And don't worry if you foil on your board, on your plate, your shim, it's not going to hurt anything. But you can keep this down on the whole time, or you can put it at the end. It depends. I do it 6 one way, half dozen another. but I usually don't put the shim and the spacer until the very end. But since we're doing such a big area, we're going to see how it works and how it looks. All right, this will take a couple minutes here. I'm going to keep my hands out of it because that's why the camera keeps focusing. So we'll go ahead and just wait. This usually takes 2 to 3 minutes because it's just actually getting now that dye and the foil hot. And when I run it through my machine, my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, you will notice I have a weird noise at the end. Now my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine is very old and it's been well loved. So it could be that the rollers, oh, did you hear that? Now it beeps and it's green for go. So you're going to unplug it just by pushing down. You're going to pick it up. It's not that warm. And you're going to start rolling it through slowly. Now, the reason you're doing slowly is you're wanting to make sure that all of that goodness is getting pushed onto that cardstock. You heard that little weird noise at the end? I have no idea what that is. All right, so I'm going to take off my plates. And also, I have cut my paper, my two-tone cardstock, down to 4 by 5 1/4. So it's that layer. So that's another reason why I get the overfoiling. So let's go ahead and take this off. I'm going to plug this right back in, but I'm going to take that shim off first. Put it over here to cool. Plug this right back in so it starts to heat up. And now we're going to pull this off. And look at all that goodness. Now, you want to be careful with this. You don't want to scratch it because we're going to do the opposite here. But look at that. Look how pretty that is. Now, there's 2 thoughts for doing the next part. When I first started doing it, and it's not that hot. The dye's not that hot anymore. It's a little warm. Anyway, so I was putting this upside down so that this surface would be getting hot. But I don't think it did the best because I think where this design is, it wasn't giving us a flat surface to foil against for the reverse. That's why I think Stampin' Up! Is coming out. It's going to be, I mean, it's just a piece of metal, but it's a certain thickness and it's solid. So you're going to have solid consistency. Whereas when we're using these, as you can see, there's patterns on them. So it's not going to be as fluid, I guess. All right. I am taking the foil, again, pretty side down, and I'm putting it straight onto my pad here. And I am going to kind of just get some of those wrinkles out like that. And I'm going to put my cardstock down. And I'm going to hit my timer. Now you're going to see the cardstock is starting to curl up. That tells me that that foil underneath is still it's getting warmed up, right? And if it starts to curl too much, I will put the plate on top. But for right now, I'm going to hold off just a second. Once this corner starts to curl, I'm really going to put the plate down. You know, I'm going to do it right now. So I'm putting the flat side against the cardstock. All right. And it's still trying to get heated up. This, like I said, this is the part that takes about 2 to 3 minutes to reheat. And the reason why you're putting the die flat side down is that when we run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, we want all of that surface to get pushed against that foil onto the cardstock. I'm going to show you though, when I use this on the bottom, Here I put the foils directly onto the hot surface. I'll show you the example I used where I put this down first, and then put your foil and then the cardstock. All right, beeps, so it's ready to go. We're going to unplug it. We're just doing that by pushing it down, putting our shim and our spacer on top, bring it over here, and again, we're going to run it through fairly slowly. We're not doing it fast like we do with die cutting. All right, take the shims off. Take off that shim. I'm sorry, that die. We're going to let this cool for just a second. I'm going to put this over here for now because we're done with it. And these are just my old stamp cases with my cut foils in there. Let me put this over here for now. All right, giving it just a minute to cool. And now we're going to peel. And see, I think I probably should have had the foil down a little bit beforehand, but still, it's not bad. If I had put the foil down while it was still heating up, this foil would have really got hot and all of that would have transferred through. But still, it's not bad there. And maybe if I put the plate down right away too, it's going to be different every single time you do it. Now, could I run this through again? I could. There's not much left on it though. So should we try it? Now this time, let's go ahead and put this down right away. How about that? All right, while that's heating up, let me show you some of the other examples we did. So here's that. So here's your first run, here's your second run. Here is the polka dots. See how crisp that came through? So there's the negative, there's the original. See how well this one did? Just a little bit down here. And this one, I think I had the foil on it the whole time. So here's the original that ran through. Here's the negative. Oops, sorry, my camera's getting in there. You can, I mean the shadow from my camera holder. But look at that. So that's pretty good. Now here's where I did it the first time, where I had the actual die plate on the bottom. And you can see that one really didn't turn out very good. I mean, as a background, it could be kind of pretty, but not. Now this has very little on it, remember? So let's go ahead. Let's put my paper down. Let's put that die on. Oops, it moved. Did you see it? Because of the heat. And that foil is really hot. I've had it on there the whole time. Let's put these on. Like I said, there's very little residual left on this one. So you can see this one was really the best one. And this is when I put the foil down, not the entire time that it was heating up, that, you know, where it's usually the 6 minutes, but now it's kind of like 4 because it's already been heated up. So this, I put the foil down during that time before it beeped. So that is really the best result. I mean, they all have a purpose, but here's the originals. Look how gorgeous all of that is. I mean, it's just fabulous. And like I said, the these aren't the greatest. These turned out very well for that reverse. I love this one. Sorry, you see my camera in there. You can barely see that Blackberry Bliss coming through. Here you see quite a bit of it coming through. All right. So that's what I've been doing this morning. Let me put those there. Let me get this back out because we're going to do it one more time. You want to make sure this is on a level, sturdy surface too. All right, it beeped. So we'll unplug it. Now this, I don't know what this will look like because there was very little left. Oh, shoot. And I just moved that. All right. I don't know how this is going to look because those plates moved. And it's the third iteration of that foil. So there might not be anything left to actually show. But I moved the plate. So I'm hoping that didn't affect it too much. Take this up. And let's see if it did anything. Like I said, there was very little left on there. You can see that it looks like something happened. Now look at that. I'll show you in a second. See, now that foil is all pretty much gone. And here, this is the third iteration. So again, not bad. That's actually kind of pretty. That's the third time. So I think if I had put that foil down sooner, this one would have turned out, oops, not that one. This one would have turned out even better. This one then would have looked more like this one. So I really think when you're reversing, foil down, then cardstock, then heavy plate or full plate, flat side down so it's touching that cardstock, and then running it through. I think that's the best way versus having, oh my goodness, my plates are sticking together now. Versus having this heat up and then foil, then cardstock, then your shims. I think that gave the worst result. That's what this one did. And again, it's because there's a pattern on the other side. So when it heats up, it's not heating the whole plate evenly. And I think that's why we got this with so many little empty spots. But like I said, Stampin' Up! Is coming out. And I think they said it's coming out on the next release. That you'll have that reversing plate. But until then, if you want to reverse, let me put, these are my, if you want to reverse, you can by using one of your existing, what I call more of a full plate. Has a lot of surface to it. All right, guys. I hope I explained that well, and I hope by showing you it, it kind of made it more clear. Have a little bit of a shadow. Still early in the morning. So let me know what you think. Give me that thumbs up. Share on your social media and with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Most of all, have a great week. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.